Hello, everybody. My name is. Wow. Uh, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Hello, everybody. My name is Adiwale. Welcome to The Voice. Thank you for coming to the show. As many people that are following us on Instagram. Thank you. Thank you. Please visit our YouTube channel, DE underscore DE and voice. There is a space, DE and voice 12. Please follow us on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. Tonight we are talking about uh, sorry. Tonight we are talking on Nigerian debt and the effects on our economy. Yeah, tonight we are talking about Nigerian debt and the effects on our economy. Nigeria is one of the big country. Nigeria is one of the big country which we have a lot of debts. Nigeria is holding. Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. Please send me a request if you are there, if you are hearing me. Pep Talk Markers. I should be waiting for Victor. Victor will join us very soon. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, bro. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine. Good evening.
Good evening. How is your day, sir?
Yeah, very well. Thank God.
Uh,
Very well. And yes.
bless God. Victor just getting the second person that is going to we are going to debate this topic with. Just give me an information that he will join us very soon, very very soon.
Okay.
Please, can you introduce yourself to our audience that are watching you, sir?
Yeah, my name is Femi Akinshola, and
Okay.
I am privileged to be invited to this great show today.
You are part of the house now. Please, Victor, if you're online, please just send me a request. If you are the one online, please just send me a request so that I'll be able to know I will accept the request. Today, today we are talking about Nigerian debts and the effects on our economy. What is your own view about the debt that our country is owing now?
Please, can you come again with your question?
I said today we are discussing about Nigerian debt and the effects on our economy. What is your own view about the debt that our country is owing now?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. I will start by saying that when we talk about governance, there's no government in the world that is not indebted one way or the other. There is always a provision for that in any society of the world. You have to borrow because most of the time, most often, as far as Nigeria is concerned, we've always run on budget deficits, and then we never had a situation whereby we have budget surplus. And in order to cushion the effects of that, for us to have a balanced budget, we have to go borrowing. And then the more we borrow, the more we accumulate some debts, especially when we are borrowing for some things that we cannot use or for something that is not necessary. For example, consumption. It is one of the worst way or one of the worst reason of borrowing. Because I tell people you can't borrow for consumption. When Buhari came in, President Muhammadu Buhari came in, most of the states were owing, and most of them borrowed money. They were all shouting, hey, Paris Fund, give us some of the money in Paris Fund, give us this, give us our derivative. He gave all of them the money, and then most of them used the money to pay salary. Because if you are talking about Nigerian debt, you have to look at it cumulatively. What is the debt ratio of each state? Because you have to look at everything in sum total. Nigeria is not only Nigeria is existing alone, but Nigeria is Nigeria because we have other states that comes together to make Nigeria. For example, President Muhammadu Buhari took loan. He took some of the loan, and then what did he do with the loan? He used it to pay salaries of states, to help states to come out from their difficult situation. And that is where I want us to actually pinpoint tonight and to put a nail on this. Number one, Nigeria presently is indebted, and then the debt is very alarming. And borrowing for infrastructure. He has been borrowing this money for infrastructure and for capital development, and that is what he has been doing. Fine, a lot of people are against it, and then I will also join the bandwagon by saying, okay, too much of debt is bad for a particular country. But in as much you are doing the right thing with this debt, then I believe definitely we are on the right path and we definitely achieve our goal. Now, what are the ways in which you can adopt to come out of this debt? That is one of the issues and one of the reasons I feel this program is organized, that we'll be able to provide some positive solution from our own small points of view, be able to tell them, okay, fine, you are already in debt. Because one thing about me is that once I see a problem, okay, how do we tackle this situation? How do we tackle this problem? Which I believe is the way forward from here. Fine, Nigeria is in debt, but I believe we can come out of it. But how do we come out of it is the way we should be looking at now. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Your voice.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Fine, I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you now.
Thank you very much for the intro you are giving to us. What is you as a person? Are you seeing Nigerian the debts, the usefulness of the debt in the right way?
Like I said earlier, some of the debt we have incurred were used for the right thing, and some were used for the wrong thing. But we just have to help ourselves from this situation. If a state government cannot pay salary, they have to cry to the federal government. Federal government has exhausted every fund they have. They've used their foreign reserve, they've gone to the Paris fund, they've used every money we have in our capacity just to ensure that we augment all these deficits we have. Remember, debt is necessary, and let me pinpoint it or bring it to our day-to-day activity. For example, I run a business, and there are some cases in which I have to go and take loan. Now, when you are taking loan, or why I am taking loan, for instance, I have never taken loan to pay salary before. I have never done that. I have never taken loan to say I want to buy something that I want to consume. No, I take loan for capital development. I take loan to buy machines. Once you buy this machine, the machine is going to metamorphose and increase your own capacity to pay back the loan, and at the same time make more money. You understand? Now, some of the loan we have taken, to me, they are not necessary. Some of them are not necessary. But at the same time, when people are dying, your people are suffering, your people are dying. There's an analogy somebody painted some time ago. He said, you have a family, you don't have anything to eat, and you have a token, but you want to use the token to invest in your business, but your family does not have what to eat. What will you do? Will you help your family, or will you use the money to invest inside your business? So by the time Nigeria is stuck between these two devils, we have to go for the one that will benefit us, because if your people die and you are building roads, so how will you use the money, or who will benefit from the money you are using? So those are part of the issues in which I will not categorically say is a total failure, but at times when you have not stepped into a shoe, you may not be able to know how it pinches, because it is those that wears the shoe that know how it pinches. So they have to balance the equation. I'm not talking in support of the current administration of the government, but I'm trying to balance it from my own business point of view, because I feel at times it is necessary for you to take loan, even for some consumption purposes at times. But at the same time, I will say most of the reason why this loan is being taken are actually not necessary, to be honest. And I wish we can look for a way to minimize it. And then before I go ahead, when we are talking about debt, we have to segment it. There are two types of debt. We have the external debt and we have the domestic debt. Are you with me, sir?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, we have the external debt and we have the domestic debt. The external debt is the debt in which that is usually incurred when you borrow money from foreign countries or from foreign organizations like the World Bank or the IMF. And the domestic debt is the debt that is incurred locally. You know, there are ways in which you can also borrow money locally, either from a treasury bill, from bonds, or from private and public and private partnership. Those are one of the means in which you can also source for loan. So I will encourage that we usually go for a domestic debt. Let's borrow locally, let's source locally. Find the federal government is actually doing its best by ensuring that we get loan locally, and that is one of the ways or one of the reasons why we have the Sukuk bonds, which is a partnership between Sukuk. There are some infrastructure that is going on. Fine, they are doing it for, but definitely we are going to pay back, and the interest rate is quite low. So going forward, I want us to look internally. How do we generate funds internally? How do we make more money internally? Those are the ways in which I believe we can definitely get loan and reduce our external debt, because paying back external debt presently is more expensive compared to paying back internal debt or domestic debt. Because paying back external debt, you have to pay back in foreign currencies, because you borrow this money in foreign currencies, and you look at the dwindling forex exchange rate. By the time you borrow money at the rate of 500 and you are paying back at the rate of 600, currency does not make sense. So which is one of why I will say that let us look for internal ways of borrowing money or of raising funds. There are various means in which we can raise funds. So I will suggest to the federal government, let's put an end, let's put a stop. Presently we are at about 50 trillion naira. That's the debt we have incurred, and we are converting it into dollar. That's about 40 something billion dollar. So that is huge for us. So how do we pay back this money in foreign currencies? So the only way in which we can enjoy paying back this money is when our foreign exchange is equal to that of our counterparts. If not, we will definitely pay more. We will be paying more, and it's so painful that we are in this situation, to be honest. Is very, very painful. But I believe that with the right administration and the incoming government, provided that we have someone that can provide a solution to this country. I'm not campaigning for anybody on this show, but I'm believing that we can elect somebody, a leader, that will give us the drive and give us a reason why we must not borrow locally again, externally again. Because there's no how we won't borrow. It's not possible for us not to borrow. But let us minimize borrowing externally.
Okay, thank you very much. You know that today's one is only about the policy and politics. We are not talking.
Yes,
we are not going into politics properly. But from your own view, you are an economist. What is the way out of these debts? What is the way out? The solution is what we are looking for this show. Peradventure, President Mohammed is looking at you now, and the Minister of Finance are looking at you now. Your own view also can go a long way. Bro, what is the way out?
Number one way out, I am a very realistic person. There are times that I just feel, okay, let me just put myself through some pain. Let us go through this pain together. Let us go through this pain together. Now, all this money we have borrowed, all this money Nigeria has borrowed so far, I can categorically say that 50% of the money we have borrowed are used for reasons that is not economical to the country. As a matter of fact, 50% of the money borrowed was borrowed for, and it was being embezzled by a politician. That is just it. By the time our money is embezzled, we will not see the effect in the Nigerian society. Now, there are some rows that loan was taken and then they embezzle the money. And the unfortunate part of it is that when it comes to capital project like road infrastructure, you have to pay your vendor or the workers working for you. You have to pay them some percentage upfront. There are times that due to some manipulation, they even pay some of them 100% upfront. You know, when I heard that, I was like, why will we do that when we have the Bureau of Public Procurement? So that is the level we have found ourselves in this country. So going forward, I want to say the best way of going out of this debt is to stop taking loan for now. If you are going to die, let us die. I believe you are not going to die. We are going to live. Let us do what? Stop taking loan for now. That is number one solution. Number two, let us stop some frivolous spending. And number one frivolous spending I'm going to mention is subsidy. Let us put a total stop to subsidy. Enough of petroleum subsidy. Let us put a total stop to the petroleum subsidy. By the time we put a stop to the petroleum subsidy for like 3 months, the money we are meant to use to pay subsidy, we can use it to offset some loan. That is number one. Number two, can we increase the tax net? Can we increase the number of people that are paying taxes? Can we generate more revenue? And then as we are generating more revenue, can it be used for the reason for which it is generated? That is another way forward. Let us increase capacity, increase the tax net, bring in more people to pay taxes. And as they are paying taxes, let us ensure that this money is not embezzled. It is one reason, or it is one point for you to raise money. It is another point entirely for the money to be used for the right reason. And that is where the problem is in this country as it is. That is where the problem is. When Babatunde Fowler came, it generated a lot of revenue. Ahmed Dani came, custom, it generated a lot of revenue. But at the same time, we just spend this money for frivolous purposes. This money, we can say, okay, for the next 3 months, let us use this money to offset this particular debt. So let us increase the tax rate, let us increase our internal generated revenue, let us generate revenue and use it to offset some of this loan while we are using some of them for capital infrastructure. Number three ways in which we can offset and come out of this debt is simply reducing the cost of governance. We need to reduce the cost of governance totally. And I will appreciate it if President Muhammadu Buhari or the incoming president, whichever one is going to adopt the Olasare report. Olasare report have given us solution to some of the problems we are facing. We need to reduce the cost of governance. The money we are spending on different ministry agencies is too much. At times I'll be driving on the road and I will see some place number. I'll be seeing some ministries that I've never had before, and some parastatals. I'll just be like, where is this parastatal coming from? Who is financing this parastatal? And all the vehicles they are using, they are luxurious vehicles. Vehicles of 30 million. It does not make any sense. It does not make any sense. So we need to reduce the cost of governance. Let us make government less lucrative for politicians. When you are coming to governance, you know that you are coming there to contribute your quota. It should not be a place whereby you now come and say that, okay, this is where I'm going to get rich. No, government should not be like that. Governance should not be like that. It can only come to governance to help the country. What are you bringing into the table? So we need to reduce our spending on some of the ministry. Let us collapse them. By that time, we will have enough money. And we can say, okay, this money we are having in surplus now. Let us divide them. Part of it, let's use it to offset some of the external debt. And number 4 ways in which Nigeria can come out of this debt is to definitely apply for a soft landing and debt waivers. I want us to know today that it is a common standard. IMF under President Obasanjo, they gave us some waiver on some of the loan that was incurred by Nigeria. So we can definitely apply for that. But we can't just apply for that if they see that we are not serious and if they see that we are not ready to pay this money. We need to apply for it. Let us apply. Okay, please, can you give us a debt waiver? And definitely, I believe that they are going to give it to us. So those are my little solutions in which, if we can adapt it, I believe the future is going to be bright for this country.
Okay, thank you very much. We are talking about the debt waiver that happened during this over the President
Obasanjo.
Yes. Are you seeing it that it can happen now? Because the people that are giving us, are they going to just give us a debt waiver without any return?
Okay, now see, there is what we call negotiation in governance. In fact, before they gave us debt waiver, it wasn't as if they just gave us debt waiver like that. There was some exchange. You understand? We gave them something in return. That is the truth. There are some negotiation which I don't want us to go into that now. It is part of governance. You have to negotiate some things. We have a lot of resources we can use to negotiate. That's just the truth. We have what? Enough resources. Okay, look at the CCEC, which is the Chinese construction company. Presently, there's a partnership between Nigeria and the CCEC. They were the one that built our airports, all the international airports. By God's grace, I was opportune to be in some of those international airports, and I was part of those who did some work while the airport construction was going on there. You know, I can say that there was a partnership. Now, we have invited them to come and build these airports, and we are also giving them some things, some natural resources in return. You know, one way in which you can get debt waiver is to give them what you have. Okay, I do something in business, and let me just share it briefly here. I was about to embark on a particular project, and then I'm not going to mention on the project, and I met the person that I feel he can give me what I want. And I told him, boss, I need this project, I need this thing to be done, but I don't have money. But this is what I have. So there was an exchange. You negotiate. Negotiation goes on anywhere and everywhere in the world. You can just, okay, look at our crude oil now that is being stolen every now and then. You can just tell them, okay, we are going to give you 1 vessel of crude oil. Forfeit our loan. Forfeit it. So we have a lot of resources. Look at our Jakarta Steel. You can tell them, okay, we want to give you some limestone. We want to give you some iron ore. We have a whole lot of mineral resources that we can use to negotiate. That's just the truth. A whole lot. Nigeria is endowed. It is, my problem now is that if you say Nigeria, if you say we want to go through this, you will say, okay, let us set up a committee. As you are setting up a committee, you will tell them that let's give them 1 vessel. The person, the chairman of the committee, will already be saying that this vessel, I'm going to take care of it. They frustrate it. There's no transparency. There's everything is just bottled up, and it's so painful because at times, even if the government have good intention, we the people, we are the cause of this thing. We are the cause. It's so painful. You know, I wish I can be at the end of power to be able to correct some things, because we have to put an end to this bullshit. A whole lot. President Buhari came in with a good intention, but the people, the directors, the PAMSEC, the ministers, in fact, the civil servant, the public servants, they frustrated all his ambition, all his lofty ideas because of their selfish reason. And that is only my fear when we are saying we want to negotiate this. But I believe that if you have a good structure, if we can put our brains together and pinpoint the areas in which we can negotiate, I believe some of our loans can be offset. Some of them can be offset, to be honest. It's possible.
Okay, thank you very much for that place you took us to. I'm looking at now, we are discussing and deliberating more on the way out now. You have mentioned we have a lot of resources in this country, but the way we are handling it is not fair. Is it compulsory for us we can negotiate, and also in the process of our negotiation, we can we also start up private sector? I think that government is supposed not to be running a business. Are you not seeing it as let me say in the area of the crude now? If we did not go, refinery is not working, can we set the refinery to private sector? Are you seeing that if the refinery will be NNPC is sold to a private sector, is it not going to be far better and productive than now?
Okay, I will not say yes and I will not say no. You understand? We cannot sell all our critical assets. We cannot privatize all our critical assets. You understand? It is a lofty idea that, okay, let us privatize the NNPC, let us have the private sector control everything. But a serious government will not allow people or the private sector to control everything. You cannot allow that. The only thing you can allow is the public and private coming together partnership, the public private partnership, both of them coming together to synergize. Now, look at Transcorp now. Transcorp Eating was being run by government some years ago, but presently the government has reduced its shares. Government still have shares in Transcorp Eating. You understand? It's still a public and private partnership, but they gave the private sector the edge, and they are the one running the administration. And we can see that Transcorp Eating is one of the best hotels in Abuja. In fact, in the whole of Nigeria, anywhere you see eating, they are one of the best. Now, that is an example. On the other hand, there are some critical infrastructure or critical things that we cannot just say we want to have a concession. Look at the power sector now. Look at the power sector. Now, the government says, okay, we are generating, we have the Gencos, we have the Discos, we have the transmitting companies. They have brought in the private sector to come and see how they can synchronize and make sure that they provide a good service. But now, the process of synchronizing it, the process of concessioning it, we can see a lot of fraud that came into play. A whole lot of fraud came into play. I want to ask you a question, and I want you to be sincerely honest. When our electricity distribution company was still called Power Holding Company of Nigeria, and now, have you seen any significant difference? The answer is what? No. These people are generating money. The Discos are generating money. And where is the money going to? It's going to their pockets. How much is the government making? They will say that they are not getting a lot of transmission. Now, they are giving you transmission, they are transmitting. Where is the money? For example, I just bought a new meter in my house. And the meter goes for 119,000. A new meter. I still have to pay for this meter. We just bought a new transformer in our estate. We contributed the money to buy it ourselves. And if we call them to come and repair, we will still pay for repair. And they are the ones enjoying it. They will never give us waiver. So those are some of the the negative effects of having a public and private sector partnership. Not really a public and private sector partnership, but having our critical infrastructure handed over to these people is going to cause us a whole lot of problem, a whole lot of issue. If you like, you protest from now to tomorrow, nothing will happen. If the person that if the Discos they are not giving you light, that is it. So when it comes to NNPC, fine, it is now presently NNPC is now a limited liability company, because NNPC was turned to a limited liability company about 2 months ago, and that is a way for a good one for the federal government. They have done well by doing that, by giving the society the privilege to also buy into it. It can invest into it. It can be a shareholder now. It is now being listed on the stock exchange. So is a good one. It's a good one, and I believe it's going to push us to be better. And when it goes to the issue of refinery, presently we are hoping that maybe early next year we are going to have our Dangote refinery working. By the time the Dangote refinery comes up on stream, I believe it's going to reduce the pressure on we having to export our crude oil out of the country, and then we start the local refinery. It's really going to help us. We are going to save a whole lot of foreign currencies. That is on one aspect. On the second aspect, I'm of the opinion that the government should try and put, if it is only one refinery in operation, if it is only the Port Harcourt refinery or the Kaduna refinery, we can put into maximum operation. Let it be operating maximally, and let us put our best to ensuring that, okay, this refinery works perfectly. Because I don't want a situation whereby we are going to rely only on the refinery of Alhaji Aliko Dangote. And remember, Alhaji Aliko Dangote is enjoying a tax-free project. Most of the facility he got, the land he's using, most of them were given to him at a token. That is just the truth. So the government has also encouraged him for him to build the refinery, but at the same time, we should not rely on him. God forbid, what if there is a problem with his refinery in the future? What if you want to do an overhauling? What if you want to do a repair? I think we should have another plan. So I want the government to also intensify efforts by ensuring that our own refinery that is being owned by the government is also working optimally. And we should ensure, that is my problem with this country, we should ensure, and once again, we should ensure that this refinery is being monitored. It should not be a means for embezzlement. It should not be a means for corruption. I want everybody to please join our hands together and let us have our refinery working. And thirdly, there's what we call modular refinery. President Yomi Obasanjo, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, sorry, yeah, Osinbajo, he was part of the pioneer, and he went into the creek of the Niger Delta to ensure that we have our modular refineries working. Fine, he came up with a laudable idea, but you can see some of the discovery we saw some few weeks back. Some of them have connected the modular refinery to their grandfather's village. From there, they are connecting it to a vessel. They have turned it to a business that they feel that it is their national cake and they can use it for any reason. So we have a whole lot of ideas, but at the same time, we are still the one frustrating these ideas. We are the one, me and you. I'm going to put us into the system, into the situation, because if each and every one of us begin to say the right thing, we begin to see something and say something and stop people from doing the wrong thing, I believe we are going to get there when we are going to get there very soon. Thank you very much.
Okay, Victor, it's like we're online. Please, can you send me a request? We are closing the show very soon. We have like just 7 minutes to close the show. Please send me a request. I've been seeing you online. Back to you again. You know that all this idea that was initiated during that modular refinery, is there any way that there can be a good negotiation about our modular refinery? And that is number one, maybe a good negotiation. And apart from that, can we think behind crude oil? Nigeria is blessed. We have land, we have land, we have gold, we have nothing. We have human resources. Like China now, China is very, very productive. Can we put ourselves also in that way also?
Okay, let me start from your first question. Negotiating the modular refinery. The truth of the matter is,
when I said negotiating the modular refinery, putting it in a process like, if I have money now, I can go to government, call for license, do the modular refinery in maybe Otuoke, in Bayelsa, or in any place part of the Port Harcourt, and there should be a way that government can see how much crude they are giving me, how much am I producing. Is there any way it can work like that? And no, you know that if you are doing a modular refinery, you employ 2 or 3 persons in the community. All of your workers will not be outside of the country.
Yeah. Okay, now this is how it goes. You cannot just say you want to start refining anything. You have to refine something, and that is crude oil. Now, how do you get this crude oil for refining? That's number one. What is the process? What is the process of you getting this crude oil? The process, number one, is cumbersome. That is number one. Now, number two, if they give you the license to get or to operate modular refinery, you have to buy crude oil. And when you buy crude oil, you now bring it to your refinery for it to be what? To be refined. Now, what do most people do? They go and steal this crude oil and they refine it, and they are making money only for themselves. That is the problem. They are working. But what do we do? Government has given you license for modular refinery. What are you meant to do? You are meant to do or to buy it, and also so that the government can make money. That is the essence. When you buy from the government make money, then you refine it and also sell it to the depot or to end users, whichever way you want to sell. That is the way it should go. But the problem is that we are going to give them the license and they go ahead and steal and sabotage it. Now, the only way now, in fact, before we say we want to go into modular refinery, the only way now is to secure our crude oil. Our pipeline must be fully secured. We need to ensure that these people does not have the capacity to go and steal crude oil. That is the number one solution. Bros, if you have modular refinery, I can tell you today that people will bring crude oil and you will think they buy it, but most of them are stolen. I was having a conversation with somebody some few weeks ago, and he said, Mr. Femi, let me introduce you to this crude oil business. Oh, there's a way we used to do it. So we have to go into the creeks. We will go and break the pipe. We get the crude oil and we move. We go and sell. You understand? So that is the current problem we are having. So even if you say you want to negotiate, how sure are you that these people will not go ahead and steal and be refining? So now government is losing on both ends. He gave them license, and they are using the license to sabotage our government, because the crude oil they will be stealing, they may not take more than maybe 10 barrel, 20 barrel. That is how they'll be taking it. It's not as if they'll be carrying a vessel. So from there, they will just refine that one, sell it. They'll be selling bits and bits. And that is the current problem we are having. So which I believe we need to address the issue of that crude oil before we say we want to move forward to negotiating with them. We have to just deal with that problem. If that problem is not solved, then there's no end. There's no end in sight for this lingering problem. That is number one. Number two, he said, how do we need to look beyond crude oil? That is just the truth. Like I said, that we have a whole lot of mineral resources in this country. We have gold. We have look at Nasarawa. They have gold. Look at Zamfara. Look at other states. We have quality things, quality mineral resources. Look at the agricultural sector. Just about 3 days ago, Ghana has placed an embargo or a ban on the importation of rice into their country. This is an opportunity for us. Thank God for the initiative of President Muhammadu Buhari to be growing rice locally. Now, our people here in Nigeria can now start exporting rice to Ghana, because they don't want to buy from any other place again. They are ready to only buy from Ghana because we are West African. So there's a diplomacy and a contractual agreement between among all these West African countries. So we can easily export to them, and we are going to make money. So we need to look beyond crude oil, which is long overdue. We need to adopt technology. We need to adopt our agriculture. Let us invest more in agriculture. Number three, we need to go and enhance our mining sector. We have a whole lot of illegal miners mining gold. About 3 days ago, somebody sent me some gemstones that they were mining in Ogun State. Imagine Ogun State. They discovered some gemstones. In fact, I am very sure that the government is not even aware, or probably they are even aware and they are also making money. I asked the person, where did you get these gemstones? He said, Fem, this is money, let's make money. But I am not someone like that. I have to turn the offer down, because I believe that the government should be the one that should be controlling this, that should be regulating it. So the relationship of the government with the people should also be something we should be pushing forward. A lot of people are saying that, okay, fine, if I discover gold here now and I tell the government will just take over the gold, the person in charge is going to make money and forget them. So when they discover that the government itself is corrupt, the people themselves will feel, okay, this is my own turn, or this is my way of making money. Let me just make this money, make this gold, get all these gemstones, and they run away. That is number two ways. And number three, we need to start investing in human capital. In the United States of America, there's a place they call Silicon Valley. And you see people going there. That is where they raise geniuses. Geniuses like Mark Zuckerberg. They emerge from where? From Silicon Valley. We need to develop our technology up, because that is the way forward now. Thank God for some of people that have embraced robotic. Some of them have explained, they have embraced UX design, they have embraced a lot of coding. Let us invest more in human capital. And I'm not going to say this for to cause any religious uproar today, but I have to say this: we need to put a stop, especially the Nigerian youth, to all this night vigil, prayer and fasting, going to church every now and then. You know, most of us, we have decided to lock our brain. We have locked our brain believing that God will solve the problem for us. No, God is not going to solve the problem. He has given us the capacity to solve. We are the one that God will use to solve this problem. It is not in that IVG that you are going that you solve the problem. Let us go all out. I was watching a video about 2 days ago. I was seeing young people in China and juxtaposing it with young people in Nigeria. You see them in China. You see young people embracing technology. They are deep into things, and that is what is giving them an edge. But where do you see our youth? You see them, if you did not see them in Shiloh, you see them in redemption camp, you see them in Holy Ghost night, you see them in churches. How about? God is not as difficult as that. Let us use our brain. And I want our religious leader to also encourage. Let us encourage our populace. Don't let us think that everything is devil. Everything is devil. It is not devil. We are our own devil. We have a whole lot of churches in this country, but where have we found ourselves? We have found ourselves in the abyss among the committee of the world. So we need to embrace technology, embrace the human capital. Let us go all out. Let us study. Let us invest. Let us make it mandatory for our churches to begin to say, okay, don't come to church more than 1 hour or 2 hours in a week. Go and learn. Invest in yourself. Develop yourself so that you can develop this country. And that I believe is going to help us going forward.
I will not to agree with you about not going to church or not doing VG.
I'm not saying it's not to church. We should reduce the number of hours of going to church. Let us work. Let us do what? Work. Even the Bible says that when God created Adam and Eve, God always visited them in the evening, in the cool hour of the day. But you go see my people, they will go to the mountain 41 days. Our church is very close to us, and our Allah is very close to us, depending on our understanding. Please let us be objective. I know I'm a pastor, but we have to address this once and for all.
I will not say that we should not go to work and we should not go to work and we should not go to church. We should balance it. We should balance it.
Yes.
We should balance it. It is good to serve God. It has its advantage and everything is good. I enjoy people that serve God.
I'm a worker in my church, but at the same time, I have to say the truth. That's just it. And that is my own point of view. My truth may be forced on your head, but I believe that is the way forward.
Okay, thank you very much, please. We are closing the show now. What is your own take home? What is your own last advice? I think Victor is trying to chat me up in WhatsApp, but I cannot connect to WhatsApp now because anytime we are on live, I cannot do anything. I cannot receive call. Well, what is your own take home as we are rounding up the program? What is your own advice for Federal Republic of Nigeria? We have said all, but in a brief word, in one sentence, what is your own advice now?
In conclusion, okay. In conclusion, I will just say that the government need to be transparent. Once the government is transparent, there are some things that we put in place. Now we need to have the government buy-in. Now, if I tell you that there is a new policy that the government just introduced, you that I know, you will say, hey, this thing is a lie. It is a scam. The government have started, they want you to embezzle. That is the mindset of 90% of people. We don't have confidence. We don't have trust in our government. Let them develop the trust by being transparent. And I will encourage everybody, as much as you are a citizen of this country, let us contribute to the development of this country. Let us give our best. Don't let us say that, it is national cake, I must take my own share. No, we should not say that. Let us believe in this country. Let us support this country. Let us drive this country forward. And I believe with that, this country is going to be a good place for all. And above all, for those that are jackpying, please don't forget the son and daughter of who you are. Represent this country anywhere you are, because it's also going to add to our credibility as a country. A lot of us have jackpot from this country. Look at what happened in Dubai, and then they have tainted the image of Nigeria in Dubai. Imagine me having my money, I can't travel to Dubai. You know, it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. So we are actually the one causing problem for ourselves in this country. So I'm going to encourage both the citizen and the government to be transparent, because this in the long run has an effect on our economy on its own. And finally, I want to say this. I Pastor Nathaniel Bassey said something. It was at the airport. I think it was at Dallas. It was, somebody, the people he went to ministered with, they booked a ticket, a business class ticket for him, and then he was about to board the plane, and they stopped him from boarding the plane. And do you know what they asked him? They asked him that can he show them the credit card in which he used to pay for the tickets, because he's in Nigeria and they believe he's a fraud. And he was like, no, I came to minister in this country. Your people in this country were the one that booked the ticket. In fact, he almost missed the flight. They have to call the people that invited him to come and minister in United States of America. So you can see that our image is as worse as that they don't believe in us again. They don't believe in our credibility again. And it's very impossible, and it's always impossible for Nigerians, for some of us that have something to offer, to sell ourselves out into countries. For them to believe that we have something, we can offer you something, because of the image, bad image projected for this country. And that's one of the reasons why investors are scared to come to this country. So going forward, both the government and the citizenry, we have work to do. Our youth, please, let us put an end to scamming. Let us stop defrauding people. Let us use our brain in the right way. Let us work for the best interest of the public of Nigeria. Let us work for the sake of posterity, and let us put our conscience to work. Don't let us kill our conscience because of the quick money you want to make. And to the government, please be transparent, be truthful to your word. Let people see what you are doing. Let people see that our money is being used for the right purpose. And our politicians should please, for the sake of God and for the sake of the masses, let us make policies and let us do the right thing for this country. Thank you very much. And I pray that the Lord shall bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the Lord shall bless the voice and bless everyone watching this show. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And a lot of people are watching this show. People are coming in from different places. I'm grateful for as many people that are watching this show from far and near, even from diaspora. I'm grateful for every one of you. I'm seeing you here. I'm grateful for every one of you. Please, before we are closing up the show, please can you mention your name to the public and what you do?
My name is Akinshola Olufemi. I'm a press and brand strategist. I have an office called Feptop Markers Nigeria Limited, located in Abuja. We are into printing, branding, and consultancy.
Thank you very much. You are not a visitor in this show. You are part of the show. Thank you very much. I name my humble self, Adewale. Please visit our website, www.thevoice12.com. You know the spelling of the voice, DE, voice.12. Please visit our YouTube. This show we posted on our YouTube. Visit our YouTube, The Voice, space, DE, and voice, 12. Visit our Twitter handle, The Voice. Visit our Instagram, DE_voice 12. Please, I remain my humble self. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless everybody. My friend, my brother, Feptop Markers Oluwafemi, please, I'm grateful for having you on this show. Thank you for coming. God bless you. God bless your home. God bless everybody. I will say so tomorrow we are discovering your purpose will be in the night, while Emmanuel will be taking us in discovering your purpose in the night. That is 9 p.m. Thank you everybody for coming to the show. God bless you. God bless our nation. God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye for now.
Bye.